Welcome! Have you ever looked at a structure and wondered how a single force actually gets distributed through it? Well, you are in exactly the right place. In this explainer, we're going to tackle a classic engineering problem, breaking down one single force into its components.
Okay, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan, a clear 5-step path. We'll start with the problem setup, then visualize the forces, figure out our angles, run the calculation, and wrap it all up with a quick recap. Let's get to it.
All right, first things first. Before we can solve anything, we need to get a really solid handle on the physical system we're dealing with.
So, here's our setup. It's a pretty simple frame made of two parts, or members, AB and AC. Right at point A, where they both connect, a downward force of 500 newtons is being applied. And pay attention to the angles. Member AB is sitting at 45 degrees to the vertical, while AC is at 30 degrees.
So what's the bottom line here? We know the total force pulling straight down is 500 newtons. Our job, our objective, is to figure out exactly how that load is shared between those two members. You know, how much force is actually traveling along member AB and how much is going along member AC.
Okay, so where do we even begin with this? We need a way to see what's happening. Let's bring in our primary tool for this job and see how it helps us build out the solution.
This is the absolute key to solving this problem. It's a really neat geometric trick that lets us work backward. If we know the total combined force, what we call the resultant, we can use it as the diagonal of a parallelogram to find the individual component forces that created it.
Sketching this thing out is literally how we find the answer. It's simple. First, we draw the force that 500 Newton vector, pointing straight down. Then, from the very tip of that arrow, you're going to draw two new lines, one that's perfectly parallel to member AB and another one that's parallel to member AC. And that's it. You've just formed your parallelogram and identified your component force vectors.
Now here's the really cool part. We don't even need the whole parallelogram to do the math. We can just take half of it, and what that gives us is this perfect force triangle. And this is fantastic news, because now we have a simple triangle, and we can use basic trigonometry to find the lengths of the other two sides, which are the magnitudes of our unknown forces.
Okay, this next part is where I see a lot of people get tripped up, but I promise it's the aha moment of this whole thing. Once you see it, it just clicks, and it's actually really simple.
So before we can crunch any numbers, we have to answer this one critical question. Where do the angles inside our new force triangle actually come from? Well, the answer is hiding in plain sight, right there in the original drawing.
So check this out. It's a direct transfer. Because we drew our new lines to be parallel to the original members, we can use some simple geometry, specifically what are called alternate interior angles, to just pull the angles from the frame right into our triangle. That 45-degree angle, it pops right into our force triangle. And for the other one, well, member AC was 30 degrees from the horizontal, which means it's 60 degrees from the vertical. So that 60-degree angle also transfers right over.
So let's lock this in. We can just place that 45-degree angle and that 60-degree angle directly into our force triangle. And, we all know that the angles in a triangle have to add up to 180 degrees. So finding the third angle is super easy. Just take 180, subtract 45, subtract 60, and that leaves us with our final angle, 75 degrees.
All right, we've honestly done the hard part. We have a triangle, we know all of its angles, and we know the length of one of its sides. This means we can pull out a really powerful tool from our math toolbox to solve for everything else.
So, why the law of sines? Well, think of it this way. It's the perfect tool for the job. It's designed for any triangle that isn't a right-angle triangle, as long as you know an angle and its opposite side. And that's exactly what we have. We know the 75-degree angle and the side opposite it are 500 Newton force. This law is our bridge from knowing the angles to finding the forces.
And here is that rule laid out perfectly. It basically says that the ratio of any side's length to the sine of its opposite angle is the same for all three sides of the triangle. It's this simple relationship that lets us solve for our two unknown forces, FAB and FAC. So to find the force in member AB, we just set up that ratio. FAB divided by the sine of its opposite angle, which is 60 degrees, is equal to our known force, 500 newtons, divided by the sine of its opposite angle, 75 degrees. We just rearrange that a little bit, and we're ready to punch it into the calculator. And there we go, our first answer. The force component acting along member AB is about 448 newtons. Now we just rinse and repeat. We use the exact same process for the force in member AC. The only thing that changes is that this time we use its opposite angle, which is 45 degrees. And there you have it.
The force acting along member AC comes out to about 366 newtons. We've done it. We've successfully resolved that original 500 Newton force into its two components.
Fantastic work. Okay, let's do a super quick recap of that whole process, and then I'm going to give you a chance to try it out yourself. Just remember this simple four-step flow. It all starts with the sketch. Use the parallelogram law to get your force triangle. Step 2, isolate that triangle. Step 3, use the frame's geometry to find the inside angles. And finally, step 4, apply the law of sines to solve. It's just a beautiful, logical process.
All right, your turn. Here's a quick quiz focusing on that really crucial angle-finding step. Go ahead and pause here and see if you can work it out. Got it? The answer would be 180 degrees minus 50 minus 40, which gives you 90 degrees. It would actually be a right-angle triangle.
And that right there is the big idea. This isn't just some one-off trick for this specific problem. The parallelogram law is a fundamental principle in engineering that lets you take any force and break it down into components along any two directions you choose. It just makes you wonder, what other complex systems out there can be simplified just by looking at them with this elegant visual tool?
This video was created by Notebook LM and brought to you by AlJazari. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with others who might find it interesting. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. Stay tuned for more industrial insights, and we'll see you in the next video.